and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at Golisopod with the new move Liquidation in the Master League Premier Cup here, which is going to be most likely its best meta for the Master League, because for the normal Master League you just don't really have the CP for it. As you're going to see here right now, we're going to have a fully maxed out variant here for our team, together with the MEWeedle in the lead, as well as the say swap of our Gyarados. I'm actually running Hydro Pump here on my Gyarados. There is a reason for that, because you're going to be able to beat something like a Togekiss with that one. But in hindsight, Crunch would have been definitely the better move to go for. Definitely don't really recommend you to run Hydro Pump. I just want to try it out because I know that I had some great success with that one beforehand, like in previous seasons here. So yeah, we're going to now have here the set that I don't really like at the end of the day, but it's still going to be fine. We're going to have, you know, the awkward tail coming through against the opponent's Dragonite, I think it is, which we can now align at least our MEWeedle against the opponent. Again, we're going to most likely have a matchup that we don't really want to face here, but we're going to now have the Excadrill coming in, which is going to be amazing for us as our Golisopod going to have a great time here. Golisopod will be able to survive a Rock Slide pretty easily, and as you're going to see here right now, the Liquidation did enough damage to make the opponent forfeit here right now. Very nice standing here in the beginning. This Pokemon itself is very interesting because Golisopod can basically hard wall any kind of Metagross. You're going to have super effective damage with a fast move of the Shadow Claw, as well as you're going to have neutral damage with Liquidation, while you're going to be able to resist all the charge moves and fast move from the Metagross, which is really nice, unless they're running Psychic, which nobody really does here right now. So that's going to be fine. Here my opponent going to go for the bait, which is not really ideal for me. Maybe I should went for the Hydro Pump here as well, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for the double Awkward Tail here right now, which is still working out pretty well for me, as you're going to be able to either get the shield or the knockout, and we're actually going to get the knockout here, which is going to be very nice for us. This was the main reason why we had to have basically the MEWeedle in the lead, because of the bigger issue of the backline against the Magnezone there. So here we're going to see now the superpower coming through. We're going to shield this move up, and we can swap out, save the move here, basically catch the move from the opponent onto our Golisopod, and Golisopod going to be also able to completely hard wall the MEWeedle. Usually they don't run Stone Edge here, so they're running high horsepower in this case. And you're going to see me here going for the wrong move with Excessor, but I couldn't go for the other move here, because if I went for my Liquidation, I would have knocked them out, but the opponent would have been able to go ahead and farm me all the way down with the Dragonite. Would have got to another charge, like to 2 charge moves there, and I wouldn't have been able to go for 2 Avalanche in time. So I think that was the only way to go here, but sadly the opponent just literally reaches the last Avalanche with 1 HP in a Dream. If I was able to farm them down, we would have been able to win this game, but sadly not like this. Next opponent, Hexeros in the lead. I should have stayed in for a little bit, and here again, Crunch would have been way better in this scenario, because for Crunch you would have just done super effective damage against the opponent. Like this, we're going to go ahead, go for the no shield, go for the Hydro Pump against the opponent right now, and this is going to do some pretty decent damage, as you're going to see here right now, but not enough to farm them down in time. They can still get to another charge move here, and we are forced to shield this move up, as we're now going to try to realign our Pokemon. Let's see what's coming in here right now. It's going to be most likely the Hexers, maybe? No, it's going to be a Dragonite. Don't really understand the team of the opponent, to be fair. Like, one Charm user in the lead and you're kind of screwed, because you kind of have to stay in there. And then you're going to, yeah, like honestly, double Dragon is a little bit tricky here if you have a Dragon in the lead and a Dragon in the back. Like, one Togekiss literally destroys the lead as well as the Pokemon in the back there. You wouldn't be able to swap out then with your lead. It would be kind of awkward for you, but maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. We will never know. Maybe something like this can work if you don't encounter too many Charm users. But I feel like there are a lot of Togekiss around, a lot of Primarina around, so I don't really know if this is the best idea. Also, Florges is also a very strong Pokemon currently still. But here we can take a look at the matchup against the Hexos. We can go ahead and go for the Excessor against the opponent. Gonna get the shield from the opponent here as well, as the next Excessor is coming through right now. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. We are debuffed, so it's not going to do too much damage, as they're going to swap out into their Dragonite, allowing us to still go for 1 Liquidation. You have to hope that we can now basically swap out and maybe farm them down or something, but sadly, our switch clock wasn't up yet, and yeah, there was not a lot that I can really do here anymore. The Hexeros is going to be able to win this game for the opponent. Hexeros, by the way, got up to rank 3 of the Poke ranking list there, so definitely a Pokemon you kind of want to definitely get there. Like, you most likely have one already from the community day, but it's so worth it to have this Pokemon. If you have one already built without Breaking Swipe, it's definitely worth it to use an Elite TM on this Pokemon, because it's a very strong Pokemon now for the Master League Premier Cup. Honestly, to rank 3, I didn't even expect it would get that high, but it's now like core meta for this kind of meta here. So, we're going to see now Hexorus going for another breaking swipe against our our Gyarados here, as they're going to swap into their own Gyarados, which still allows me to go for one Hydro Pump, which is going to do a ton of damage against them, as you're going to see here right now. This coming through here right now, let's take a look how much damage it's going to do. We're debuffed and still does 50% of the opponent, which is kinda nice. But of course, they're going to be able to farm me all the way down, and I'm forced to go into my Golisopod, which should be able to survive at least those awkward hits from the opponent. But Crunch is coming through, gonna get, of course, instantly the defense drop, which is really annoying. But at least I'm going to be able to like shield one more up here, and I could even swap out into my Memoswine, trying to farm them all the way down, and I can farm them all the way down. But I cannot get to another charge move here, so this is going to be a little bit of a tough one. I can go for an Exeter, try to knock them out here, but it really depends on what they're going to have in the back here right now. And we're going to see it's going to be an Ursaluna. Theoretically, this would have been a decent matchup for us, because we have a water type against the ground type, but now with half of the health there, you see already stab tackles just taking so much of our health. You see as well, the CP of the Golisopod is not really ideal, as you can see on the top left there. We have 3500 CP, while the opponent has 4400 CP. Here they just wait for me to throw a charge move. I'm still going to, of course, not attack the last Pokemon here and just let them win this game, because they just didn't want to throw, because they wanted to, I don't know, wanted to showcase the last Pokemon or whatever. They didn't want to go for the tie there. I just wanted to give them the win, so I didn't go for another fast move with my Golisopod there. But still, we're going to see here now the opponent having a Mamoswine. We can swap into our Gyarados here, which has, of course, the awkward hair, which is going to do a ton of damage. We can let the move go through, and they're going to swap out into a Florges. And here I'm going to try to go for the Hydro Pump, and of course I'm going to not be able to reach it by half a turn. So I'm kind of forced to shield this move up, because I want to hit the Hydro Pump. I don't expect them to shield this move here, so I'm just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump, and they're going to, of course, shield this move. Which is kind of weird, because like nobody is really running Hydro Pump on the Gyarados other than me. But it is going to be fine, as you can now go ahead and swap into the Mamoswine right now. Mamoswine going to be fine for us, as we now should be able to take a charge move from the opponent. You have to try to knock them out here with a charge move, or like the high horsepower, but the opponent going to swap into their own Mamoswine. And I wish I didn't get the move off here, and I wish I just kept my energy alive, because of course our Golisopod would have been a perfect answer against the opponent, but this is not really looking too good for us right now. As in comes here right now going to be the Metagross, but we can go ahead and go into our Golisopod, which can kind of counter the opponent here, as the neutral incoming Liquidation going to do some pretty decent damage, but they're going to shield this move up here. Interesting that they shield the first one, as they could have got debuffed there if we were lucky, and that would have been definitely way better for us. But like this, we can still go ahead and go for one Liquidation against the opponent. Let's take a look at how much damage it's going to do here right now. Actually, I thought it would do more. Of course, now we're gonna get the defense drop, and it literally doesn't matter. And I'm going to let this move go through here as well. And I'm just gonna rely on my Mamoswine, hoping that I can go to 2 charge moves here, but now they're going to already have another charge move stored. I'm going to be forced to shield this move here up, and I should try to go to one-hand energy right now, thinking that I might have both moves at the same time, but I don't. You cannot store up a high horsepower as well as the Avalanche, so I'm just gonna go straight for the Avalanche here. Is this enough to knock out the opponent? It is, and we're going to be able to win this game. Good game there. Let's take a look at the next opponent. I remember this matchup, I think, as well. We're going to not outspeed the opponent. We have the same CMP tie the entire time here. Avalanche coming through at the same time as the opponent gonna get to an awkward tail. So what we can try to do here is we can try to catch the next charge move onto our own Gyarados, which should work out pretty well, as it's basically exactly the same time as I get to my Avalanche. And let's take a look what we can do here. And of course my opponent swaps at the exact same time, and they're gonna go into a Walrein. Again, it would have been a very nice matchup for the Golisopod, as I would have been able to basically survive all the charge moves there. Nothing would be even neutral, everything would be resisted, but sadly, because I'm not in that matchup right now, it's going to be a little bit more tough here, but I can still go ahead and go for one Hydro Pump. Do we hit this Hydro Pump against the opponent? Let's take a look at this one. Boom, bye-bye there, goodbye a Walrein, as we were able to just one-shot them here, which is kind of funny. In comes again the Gyarados here, as I can go ahead and go to my Golisopod, but this is not really looking too good for me, but I still have a move stall, which is going to be nice. Awkward Tail is coming through here, and I can swap out into my own Mamoswine right now. I'm going to try to go ahead and go for an Avalanche. They're going to shield this move up, and they're going to swap out into the Hexorus, still allowing me to go for another Avalanche here right now. And now it's basically going down between the Golisopod and the opponent's Gyarados here. As the Gyarados is already at half health, our Golisopod has a little bit more health left. I can let this first move go through sure in case they're going to debuff me with that one. Let's take a look at this one. They don't debuff me, so I can go ahead and go for my big liquidation here. Almost going to be resisted, but liquidation is the best move to go for. No debuff either, but I can just go ahead and farm them all the way down, and this is going to be a very good game. Let's take a look at the next one. We're going to see here the Mamoswine against the Mamoswine. I encountered quite a lot of Mamoswine, so if you have a best buddy variant of the Mamoswine, I think that is a very decent choice to use in the lead here. But this time around against this opponent, I seem to win CMP tie, which is pretty damn nice, so they most likely don't have a 15 attack Mamoswine here. I will be able to go ahead and go for the shield against the opponent as well. Or I just going to be lucky here and just win CMP all the time here, but I think it's most likely like a 14 attack variant or something, because I can now go ahead and shield the move up as well. And we can go ahead and go for another CMP tie. Do I win 3 in a row, or does the opponent actually has the same attack? Nope, we're going to win the next one as well. So it's fairly unlikely that they're going to have a 15 attack variant, but I'm not sure, maybe I was just insanely lucky. Speaking of insanely lucky, I was able to survive this one here with just a few HP left, going to be able to go for a charge move and knock out the opponent's Dragonite as well, as he now can have the Garchomp with this Golisopod matchup. I was just curious on how this is going to go. Of course, I could have just went straight into my Gyarados and win the game immediately, but like this, I'm going to be able to at least see a little bit on how good a Golisopod going to be in this matchup. This is kind of valuable information for later matchups as well. So we can see here that one liquidation would knock them out now if they got the debuff, but of course they didn't get the debuff, so it doesn't knock them out here. And this is going to be not enough damage to really knock them out, but I can still farm them down here with the Gyarados and win this game. Next opponent, let's take a look at this game here. We're going to have the Mamoswine against a Dragonite. Very decent lead for me. In comes now a Pokemon that I don't really like to face too much here. It's going to be the Snorlax. Very nice to see a very strong Snorlax here. I think it might be even a Shadow 100% variant, best buddied here. Not sure about this, but we're going to see now the opponent going for a charge move. I kind of want to get them low here. I kind of want to get the shield back from the opponent as well, as I don't really want to go into this matchup immediately into my Gyarados there, but I'm gonna be able to go for another Avalanche here, overfarm by a little bit and swap out now into my Gyarados, which will be able to hopefully farm them all the way down, as I can still definitely get to 2 body slams here, 2 body slams against me, which will be doing a ton of damage, but not enough to knock me out. I should be able to farm them all the way down here, and I will be able to farm them all the way down. As they of course now go back into the Dragonite, I'm forced to go for the awkward here as I don't have Crunch here. Crunch would have helped me out quite a bit, I feel like, because I would have done around double the damage against the opponent. This might even put them into range for Golisopod later on. But like this, you're going to see the Gyarados coming in, and sadly my switch clock wasn't up yet because I was waiting there. My move timing was horrendous here as the opponent got a complete free fast move in there. And with that, I'm actually going to be in such a bad spot that I'm mostly just through the game by my move timing in the game prior. Should have just went for one more fast move, like in the matchup prior. One more fast move would have really helped me out quite a bit here, but the liquidation is still going to knock out the Gyarados from the opponent. In comes the Dragonite. Of course, they don't have to shield this move up here right now. They know it's going to be resisted, but we're at least going to get the defense drop, which is going to be nice. I can try to go for another one. They have to shield this move up this time around, but sadly we don't really have a lot of health left, and I cannot swap out either, so we always kind of locked in those matchups where I don't want to be in. And they're actually going to go ahead and go for the superpower here, which allows us still to try to farm them down, but nope. They're going to be able to go for another move here, and they actually had 2 superpowers stored here right now, which of course is going to knock out our Mamoswine. This is going to be a very good game. And this is also it for this video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. You're going to see 2 different videos on the screen right now. Check them out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.